I've been a little out of touch. Sorry about that, but I have been working. What I'm showing you here is one of the ideas that I had early on was to take wire to the two bushings that the axles run on and run them up to a spot. I've shown you this a couple of times. Oh, I took it apart already. At any rate, I ran into some problems with this wire rubbing on a wheel and creating drag. So what I thought I would do is, Leon suggested you don't need the center wheel. We got these two. And one thing I noticed when I had the three wheels, the center wheel sometimes wasn't even touching the track. So, okay. So I changed it so that I'm going to run the wire up here and out, and then over here and out. And I'm going to put the bushings in here so the front four wheels are going to be electrified. The center may not be. This is where I'm at today, at any rate. And then I'm just going to run the wires straight up, solder them up, and run them off to the upper deck to the power distribution. So I just finished printing these two, and I'm going to show you another thing that I was working on. Now that I've split the trucks into two halves, there's a back half and a front half. As you can see, this is a back half where the wires would be, and this is the front where you would actually see all the things working. And I needed to have a way I could assemble them and glue them together quickly and accurately. So I put in some pins that are just exactly the right size to hold this, and they stick up just a tiny bit. And then this has a little hole where those pins should go into, and I can rest it right down on there, and it's stuck. It's really in place. So what I will do, I did it once and it worked great, so I'm sure it will. I put the super glue not around that pin, but around all the other places, dotted in. Then I put this guy on, align it, and then I hold it firm in position in an alignment, and it cures in about no time. And then I lift it off as one piece, and it's glued together. So I've made one like that, and turned out real well. Turned out very accurate, very smooth, and square. Okay. Now the next thing I'm worrying about is how to build the wiring, because this is going to be different now. So I'm looking at a fixture that I can put a wire on, and then come up with a way to form the wire. And I'm just not sure the kind of wire I need to use and the best way to route it and make sure it's out of the wheel's way, and it gives us a good way to do that. I haven't quite got it figured out yet, but I'm still working on it. This is one that I had built earlier. I took it apart to do some other stuff, but at any rate, so that's where I'm at now, is how to wire these in a way that it's easy and reliable and will hold up. Now the one that I just showed you on that engine is like this, and its wire is run across. No, that's not it. That's not it. Gotta have one here somewhere, I think. I don't know where I put them. Well, that's funny. Oh, here it is. Sorry about that. This is one that has the groove molded into it. Maybe you can see it right there. Right there. It just goes up. It comes up from this wheel bearing, goes across to this wheel bearing. That's all it does. And then I have a piece that sticks up, and it goes back. So this is one that's built, glued together, all the right stuff, and it's on that engine, and it's running. And the engine was, as you could see, it would take off if I allowed it to. Yeah, I mean, it did. It flopped off the track. I think that rear truck is causing trouble. Anyway, that's what I've been up to, working on this, trying to get this perfected so that, one, we all can assemble it quickly and accurately, and that it does indeed bring the power up through the wiring, so that all-wheel pickup is actually functioning. So I've tested it a few times. It's worked, and now I'm just trying to make it as good as I can. And I don't mean the gooder is the enemy of getting it done, but it has to be pretty reliable. This is a pretty serious thing here. You can't mess around with this. It's got to be right. So I'll be on it another day, probably tomorrow. Okay, later.